PMFA.
According to the final draft of the Property Sector Transformation Charter, despite significant progress since the establishment of a democratic government in '94, South African society, including the property sector, remains characterized by racially based income and societal services inequalities. Now, South Africa's inability to achieve its full economic potential lies in that, where the property industry is far from a true reflection of South Africa's demographics. Take a look. Transformation in the property sector has been a pipe dream for many. Despite significant progress since '94, the sector remains characterized by racially based income and societal services inequalities. With a skewed overall pattern, the full economic potential of the sector still remains a far cry. Efforts are on to bring about the much-needed transformation in all spheres of society, and one of the sectors which needs it the most is the property sector. Many agree the representation is skewed in this particular sector.
And not only just the transformation, I mean, we've actually created a conducive environment, and we've written really the document that really talks about the targets, that really what we should achieve as a property sector. But all of these documents just become lovely documents until we really have to implement those things.
The South African Institute of Black Property Practitioners, SAIBPP, is one such institution instrumental in driving the transformation agenda ahead.
Another key, outcome since the formation of the organization is prior to SAIBPP's formation, there were no black entities that were active to the size that they are today, and certainly none were listed on the JSE. But the key milestones, I think what we've been referring to now, is the Property Sector Charter Council itself, the setting up thereof, because SAIBPP was quite instrumental in that happening when it did, and it covers everybody, private sector, public sector, and all the relevant stakeholders in the sector.
Experts say the property and real estate sector is one of the major contributors to the country's economy. Hence, it is imperative that equal opportunity to all must be ensured.
I mean, the property sector on its own, it's 5.8 trillion in total. And out of that 5.8 trillion, I mean, 1.3 trillion is commercial. It has grown since the last study that we did was 2012-2013. The biggest growth of it, of course, is in commercial, driven by retail. It has gone to 537. Actually, South Africa is the 6th biggest when it comes to shopping center. But also, similarly, the office space. Office space has also grown from 288 to almost about 340. So that's also another 57 billion rand. But also, property has also, it has grown from the sense that between equity and cash, property is actually one of the biggest portfolios as well. So transformation is important. I mean, we contribute 191 in terms of the GDP. So we contribute 4 to 5% of the GDP. So you cannot just ignore it. Residential is also big. I mean, 4.9 trillion, which makes up out of the 6.1 million houses that we have. The problem is that you cannot have such a big sector and not have the majority of the economy not participating in it. It wouldn't make sense.
How does one approach development, and effectively it takes money to make money? So if you look at how we've come through, transitioned into a new South Africa, there wasn't a bundle of money handed out to black players. So there's going to have to be some collaboration and also partnerships. But we're 21 years down the line and we're still having the same conversation, but we have to have it. And the big thing for us is to see investors, especially black investors, evolve into active participants rather than passive investors overall. So if we can help and be a catalyst in that.
As per the property charter, the sector is valued at 5.8 trillion rand. However, black-owned companies constitute a mere 2 to 3% in the sector. Liesl Wilson, ANN7. Well, the battle for the White House gets into the final lap with just 2 days left for the polls. The frontrunners Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are out to woo every single voter. Pennsylvania is one of the key swing states being targeted by both campaigns. Now, formerly known for its steelworks before it closed in the 90s, the city of Bethlehem is home to many Trump supporters. But not everyone is convinced by the message.
The blast furnaces at Bethlehem Steel once helped build the modern world, from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Empire State Building. Frank Baum worked here in the plant's heyday.
This was the worst day of my life when this closed down.
He's just the sort of voter that Donald Trump is trying to attract with promises to bring back heavy industry.